So if we look at Hudson's Building and Engineering Contracts, the 13th edition, and that sets out clearly the duties of an architect under the traditional approach. So Hudson is, if you like, the Bible of construction law. So we can go to Hudson and be certain that we've got a good guide to what are your liabilities and duties under the traditional approach. So firstly, to advise and consult with the employer about limitations on the use of land, on planning legislation, restrictive covenants, the rights of adjoining owners or the public over the land, and statutes and bylaws affecting the work. So, for example, the Party Wall Act would be one of the things that you would have to take into consideration as a statute. And then you should examine the site and be familiar with the subsoil conditions and the surroundings, and then consult with and advise the employer, the client, on the design and on the extent and costs of the work. So a scoping and pricing exercise, very important, as we'll see later on. So to briefly touch on copyright, which isn't really a topic for this talk, but it's relevant. Copyright is not a registered design right. Copyright exists in literary texts and drawings, and it exists in your skill and labour. It's not something that's registrable. Copyright can exist in the literary text, in the drawings, and there can be dual copyrights in the building that is built to that design. I won't go into details, but certainly to the first building that's built to that design. Follow clause 6 of the RIBA PSC with regard to licensing the client to use your copyright, to use your design. Make the client's license to use your copyright or your moral rights dependent on you being paid. And that's what 6.3 of the PSC appointment does. It says that drawings and documents may not be used for reproduction of the design for any extension of the building or for any other project. Sorry, that's 6.3. And 6.7 says that you have the right to suspend it for non-payment. You can suspend the use of the license of your copyright on 7 days' notice if the client doesn't pay you. So make the use of your copyright dependent on you being paid for it.